Damn it. Left my phone stand upstairs. Shadang it. Good morning. Let's see if I can turn it a little bit. There we go. Good morning. Clearly, I just woke up. I'm gonna wait. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna let y'all join me. So I'll wait a second. There in your eyes. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. Okay. Ew. That's gross. Good morning. Good morning. Dang, I need my phone stand. Hold on. Let me see if Vicky Lee can bring it. Say hi. Hi, Maya. Good morning. Dang. Everybody sleep. Hold on, y'all. What was we talking about? We on live. Yeah. Shit. Okay. Everybody's sleeping. Okay. All right. Let's get this thing going. I got all my equipments now. I don't know why I have this. Oh shit. I don't know why I have this song in my head by Sal Allegra, but I do. But I do. All right. Okay, I think I probably gonna need the fan, but let's just see how it goes until then. Y'all up in here? Come on in here. Come on in, friends. Okay. I need some air. Hold on. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi. Or as my friend Tangi says, heaven high. Heaven high. All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me over this loud ass fan, but it's hot in here. This is the most quiet place in the house, and I get to stretch out here. So welcome to the morning message. Okay. Hi. Welcome to the morning messages, y'all. Of course, my name is Allah-mi Basheer. Some days I remember to tell y'all that, some days I don't. Either way, welcome. Every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, I do a live intuitive channeled message. I welcome you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I am about to, I'm an intuitive self-mastery coach. Thank you for asking. I forgot to say that part too. What the hell is that? I'm an executive coach that specializes in teaching people how to master themselves, how to reconnect with your intuition so you can make more confident and aligned decisions in your life. I teach people how to reconnect with themselves, which interestingly enough, be the greatest challenge people have in life is you think is making money and finding love and gaining success, but all of those things really go back to you being able to know you, what's right for you, what is your truth, and living in that shit. That's it. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, wait, one more thing. Okay. let's see. Oh, wait, there's questions, sorry. Mr. and Ms. Hart, you have a lot of questions, and I like questions. And I'm going to get into the morning message. So, y'all probably already saw the title, okay? And could probably start to make reference to what we're going to talk about today. And Heart, I welcome you to catch this one too. Let me say this one quick thing. Everybody is welcome in this space, but kind of similar to like if you should, you know, come over my house, you gotta act right. You know, some people require you to take off your shoes before you walk in their space. I don't require that, but I do require a certain amount of courtesy to the space and respect for this sacred space. Not because I'm in it, but because there's other people in it. But let me not digress. Let me stay in my lane. So when I first saw the topic for today's morning message, because I have some pre-canned topics that I'm pulling from, the messages are intuitive, but the title, I literally look at the title and then I go and set the reminder for the event, and then I show up and just start talking about it. I don't have any preconceived notions or ideas of what I'm going to talk about or how it's going to go when I get into the message. It literally is live and intuitive. But when I saw the title for today's message, I was like, okay, this one is going to get hairy because we're going to start talking about feelings. And a lot of people don't like talking about feelings. I'll be one of them. I don't like talking about feelings. But in my older age, I now recognize that it is necessary to be even more connected to my feelings than I am even my thoughts. Yeah. It took me a long time to get to that awareness. My whole life was a matter of my opinions, what I think, what I believe, what I think should happen, what I'm mad at didn't happen. It wasn't really centered on actual feelings, okay? And that's interesting to me, that I can live so many years and not focus on my feelings at all. In fact, the way I'm made is I'm an empath, so I'm more likely to be concerned with other people's feelings before my own. Hi, Crystal. I am hardwired to project my attention out to how other people are responding and feeling than even acknowledging my own sense of awareness of what I need or what makes me comfortable. And some people, particularly people who know me a long time, they would probably find that really interesting or really interesting. Because I got a big mouth and I can have very self-centered behavior show up in the world, but at the heart of it, I still very much care about what else is going on with everybody else. The difference is I may not choose to prioritize their feelings and their desires over my own, but I am actively aware of what other people need or want or expect from me. I'm actively aware of it. But this feeling thing, yeah, empaths can walk in a room and not know what the fuck is just happening, but as soon as we get there, we have a real litmus test on what's what, who's who, and how everybody's dealing with it. Like, we just know. Empaths, we just know. And literally, that's what it means. It's just we have a knowing without knowing how we know how people feel. But to that same extent, it's not always easy to get to language to be able to express our own feelings. And that's my challenge. Is I have not just thoughts and opinions about things. I am more readily aware of how things make me feel, whether they make me feel you know, excited or welcome, or whether I feel appreciated and valued, respected, or if I feel ignored or disappointed or rejected. You know, I have a very heightened sense of awareness of my own experience, as opposed to saying things like, whatever. That used to be my big MO. So-and-so hurt your feeling. Yeah, whatever. And I move on. I'm not sitting in the hurt feeling. I'm not sitting in the disappointment of that experience or the feelings of rejection or abandonment that I might be feeling. The way it's been set up, I block out that negative energy. And anything that I perceive as a bad feeling is prompted by negative energy. So I'm pushing out energy. I think I'm just pushing out. I'm not dealing with no negative vibes, right? High vibes only. But in that mindset, I also was ignoring my real life lived human experience. I have too many stories to tell about times I've had my feelings hurt and I never expressed it. I never let it out. I never let anybody know. And I just kind of moved on from it, you know, swept it under the rug, ignored it ever happened, and just tried to move on with my day. And that is the worst thing you could ever do with feelings. That's the absolute worst thing that you could ever do with a feeling. And I want to draw the distinction again between a feeling and an emotion, because emotions are expressed outward through some type of behavior. Think of it as everyone can see your emotions, but no one can see your feelings, okay? Because feelings are an internal experience that we may or may not let out through an emotion. So like right now, I can be sitting harboring some resentment, and I'm harboring some resentment about certain things, and it's inside of me, but I'm smiling and I'm going on with my day and I'm doing my things. So no one would really know that I'm harboring those negative emotions, okay? And this is something I'm working through. By the way, like the video if you resonate with this. You know you have inner feelings about things that people just don't know. Woo! Because they can't see them, your feelings from the outside. They can only see how you show emotion. And if you're one that doesn't show emotion, then it's likely that people will forget that you even have feelings. So for those of you who've been following this platform and you've been seeing me cry on the internet, okay, part of that is my actual therapy. It's not just, oh, it just happened while I'm on camera. I am letting it happen. I am letting it flow, because this is part of how I am healing that part of me that doesn't allow myself to feel. So before I get into these cards, I'll tell another story about this energy of not showing emotion, yet feeling things so intensely. Just yesterday I was on, actually I wasn't on nothing. I picked up my phone. I feel like I want a little bit more light. Hold on before I go into this. Okay, I don't know if that's better or worse or not, but let's just see. So, yeah, yesterday, case in point. Yesterday, I was minding my own beeswax, about to leave the house to go run some errands with Victoria. And I get on the internet, and the first post I see is a piece of content from my son. Those of you who don't know, I have two kids. They're twins. I have a boy and a girl. The boy child is a content creator and an influencer. He's got a pretty sizable platform. Just running his mouth like his mama, sharing his little wisdoms and all the things. And I get on the internet, and the first thing I see him, which is not uncommon. He creates a lot of content. But as I'm looking at the piece, trying to understand like what he did, what's he talking about, the piece has in the background of it, there's audio of me talking. This is his stuff, but he created a piece of content that I didn't know he was creating with a recorded conversation that I didn't know he recorded. And it was a conversation that I was having with him a couple of weeks ago, at least a week ago. I had called him and was talking to him, and just like we always talk, like, you know, this is me in real life. Me, like how I engage y'all, this is me, this is the mama they grew up with. So I was talking to my son, and we were just I was talking to him about just his self-care and, you know, just about life and the challenges of life. We were just having a moment. And this is part of our norm. We always have these kind of conversations, you know, this is our norm. So I didn't think nothing of it, but he apparently recorded the conversation. And so when I get on the internet and I see him, and it's a very well documented piece full of different clips, because he's also a video editor. He's in school for video editing and television production. And so I'm watching this piece of content, and it was a real odd about it experience, because I didn't know he created it. I certainly didn't know he recorded the conversation. And then here it all is, and the caption reads, "Talks with my mom." Oh, it's gonna make me cry again. Anyways, so as I'm watching this piece, it was an out-of-body experience, because I was just watching it like an observer. You know, it took me a second to really realize that it was me, and it was that conversation that he had recorded. It took me a minute to like process it all, that it was me and what was happening. It was weird. It was a weird thing. So I was actually watching it like objectively, like it wasn't my voice, like it was somebody else talking to him. And then once it all kind of clicked, like, this is you, bitch. Like, this is him giving a homage to you and your conversations, and just, it was just all so poignant. And Vic posted the link. Thank you, Vic, for those of you who want to watch it. But it really was activating. I'll say that. It was so activating, not because, oh, that's cool, he made a piece with me in it, but the conversation was an actual real life conversation that I was having with my son about navigating this, you know, scary, brutal world. And what he doesn't know, as we talk about this difference between feelings and emotions, let me keep it together. And I know all my mamas and my daddies, my parents will resonate with this, is it doesn't matter how old your children get, you're always going to be thinking about them, worried about them. And not necessarily worried for a good reason. It's just like you're going to be constantly thinking about them and their welfare and their well-being. It's just a normal, natural thing. It's like we have these people, they grow inside our body, they come out into this world, and then they're no longer our own, but yet they are. And so I worry about both of my kids. When I say worry, like, is mama worried? Did they eat? You know, are they good? Are they happy? Are they safe? Do they have the resources they need to do whatever it is they're trying to do? It's just like all those provisionary kinds of concerns that any parent would have around their children. And so I don't talk about these feelings. And you know, I'm intuitive, so I feel things on top of the mother thing. You know, it's like I can feel when they are not well, when they're not happy, when they're upset or sad. I can feel it. Just like I can feel any other person's anything, I can feel theirs too. And these are my babies. And they're doing great. But life, as we know, can be hard. And especially at that age, trying to figure it out and not having all the answers. And hell, at any age, we'd be trying to figure it out. But particularly at that young age, just trying to find your sense of independence in the world. Like, I can feel all of that angst and confusion and desire, and like I can feel all of the shit, and I'm not trying to, I just do. But I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it because, one, it's a natural part of empty nesting to continue to untwine all of those things that leave their life to them. But I don't talk about it. I just feel it. I don't express it. And you know, every now and again I may say something. Recently I've said a couple of things. Like, he had already recorded this conversation, and like yesterday, day before yesterday, before I even saw this piece, I was talking to them about it. Like, you know, Mom always worried about you, always thinking about you, and this, that, and the other. So like, they know, but I don't give them the gravity of what I feel. You know, they know I'm intuitive, but they're not connecting with the fact that I feel your shit too. Okay. They don't connect with that. But yesterday when I went on the internet, I saw this piece, and it's not just that it's my kid and my words. Like, if it's anybody else I would have seen, like, fuck, that's a dope ass piece. The way he chopped and screwed it and captured the emotionality of the words that I was saying to him with all of his own visuals. The shit is fucking dope. And after I saw it, I just cried like a baby. I just cried, I just sobbed, because the conversation that I was having with him was about our negative thoughts, and how when we get stuck in spirals of negative thoughts, that's what contributes to like things like depression and like, you know, just feeling uncomfortable in the world and in yourself. It's like, I was talking to him about, you know, shifting his negative self-talk and just that process. And so the message that he captured was the essence of how I've been feeling. And that's why I was having that conversation with him in general, was just because I felt like he needed to hear that. And so for him to take that, ooh, and then make a whole piece out of it, unbeknownst to me, and my words were like radiating back, and of course it was like I was dropping bars and shit, and I'm just like, fuck. It was just such a surreal moment of one feeling so seen in my feel, like I felt like, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't have the language still to explain it, but it really felt good. Yeah, it really felt good. You know, as mamas, you try to do all that you can for your seed. And it was like a mirror he showed me back to show me that I'm doing a good job. Like, they're great kids, so I know I'm doing a good job. They're incredible people. So I know I've done something to contribute to that, but it was like a mirror being shown back at me. It was like so many layers to it. It was just like, yes, he heard what you said. And yes, he is digesting all of the words that you feel like sometimes go in one ear and out the other. Not because he doesn't want to listen, but because he's just young and he's not a parent, so he doesn't know what I'm really saying to him. And then it became this beautiful piece of content that was really authentically our relationship. Like, it wasn't like him trying to be an influencer or me trying to be a wise sage. It was just like a snapshot of our real life that he put to these beautiful visuals. So it was just a lot of fucking layers. It activated so much in me. Whew. It activated so much in me, man. And so I bring that story forward to tell the story of how sometimes we feel things that we don't express. We don't allow ourselves permission to sit in it. You know, for me, it's like I try not to sit in those feelings of worry and concern for them, because I naturally want to fix it. Because if I focus on it too much, I'm probably going to put forward some kind of strategies to fix it. And it's not for me to fix, even if they have bad days. It's not my journey to self-correct their world. It's their journey. It's their journey. So, you know, there's no other hood like motherhood to really challenge you in that way, especially when it comes to things that your children are feeling. You naturally want to make it better. You know, we're hardwired to want to make it better for them. But some feelings you really just need to sit in, because that is where the growth comes. Even me sitting in my feelings of desire to want to fix it for them, it's like tempering and self-regulating against that has really allowed me to grow as a mother and just as a person, because it's hard, again, the empath in me, it's hard for me to sit around people that are in, you know, a low mood or a sad state, you know, experiencing any kind of negative emotion without me want to say something to make it better. And Vic will tell you, this is part of what used to irritate her. And I get it. It's like, you know, she might be having a bad moment or a bad day. And I naturally, because I feel the energy of it, I naturally want to say something that's going to fix it. You know, that's going to shift the energy away from that low mood. But sometimes those feelings, we need to sit in it a second or two, or maybe 3. You know, we have moments in life that disappoint us or make us afraid or doubtful or insecure or angry, furious. It's like sometimes we got to let those feelings be, as opposed to trying to suppress them or make them immediately go away because we just want to stay high vibe. Like those low vibe moments come to teach us something as well. And in fact, they come to sometimes teach us more than even our good feelings. You know, life has a way of presenting what we call contrast, which is we need the highs and the lows. The highs and the lows teach us. And so it's like, if I'm trying to make it better all the time for him or them, where does he ever get to learn how to develop his own sense of resilience, his own habits and self-care, his own inner dialogue that coaches him back to a high vibrational place? It's like if I'm always there to come and say something or do something, it literally disables his own autonomy. It disables his own sense of agency to grow and to evolve into someone that can be self-sufficient in those ways. So that's what we're talking about today. Okay, Maya, I know you get it. Y'all like this video if you resonate with these messages. It's like, even if you're not a parent, you may do this in friendships. You don't want your friends to be down on their luck or to struggle. You know, anybody around you, you may not want them to struggle. And this is not just a lesson for us individually. It's like there's a two-way dynamic that happens when we get into savior mode. You know, and some of you have that real bad. You know, it's like, if I got it, you got it. Well, that don't necessarily need to be the case. Sometimes you can have it and I'm not supposed to have it right now because I'm supposed to figure out a way to get it on my own. You know, like that's a real thing. Sometimes it's not for you to come and save the day. Just because someone is struggling doesn't mean that they need your help. And that's a hard truth, especially for an empath. That's a real hard truth. Just because I have the answer to your problem doesn't mean I'm supposed to give it to you. And somebody might be thinking, well, why wouldn't you? Because again, it cripples people. It's like if you were a hunter and a gatherer, if you're a fisherman and you always have fish and you just keep giving fish to everybody, they never learn how to fish. They never learn how to get it on their own. And it's not about, you know, making sure people suffer, but it is about, as Vic and I were talking about, there's a need to have a healthy tension in life. Those of you who like to save the day, you're givers, helpers, and you like to come and make people's day by helping them, it's like you got to start questioning that, okay? And not because it's not a good deed or a virtuous thing to do, but because sometimes we end up over helping. We end up stepping in the way of what God is trying to do in their lives, which is to teach them, grow them, mold them, evolve them. And we get in the way trying to like solve the problem. It's like the teacher that always gives all the answers as opposed to letting the student go through the process of understanding how the answer can be made. There's such a thing as over-functioning, over-helping, overdoing it. So when we start talking about sitting in feelings, that's not just about our own. It's about allowing the people around us to have their own human experience and their spiritual experience. That often comes on the back end of challenging or tumultuous human experiences. Parenting. Had to draw the line with mine. Yes, ma'am, they do. The lows taught me so much more. Yes. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's such a hard truth, man. The bad times teach us so much. What we consider to be the bad times or the hard times, the difficult moments in life. If you are paying attention, that part, if you are paying attention, you stand to gain so much more in those dark moments than you do even in your light. It allows us to really appreciate the light in its real, truest form, as opposed to like, yeah, of course, it's supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be happy. But it's like when you can remember the times when you didn't have and you didn't know and you was without, it's like that's what makes those high times so much richer, so much more valuable. Allows you to appreciate it that much more because you know the contrast, you know the opposite experience. So, this is what we're talking about today. Some feelings are made for us to just sit in and feel them. Because the wisdom and understanding, the knowledge that we gain from just that moment of acknowledging a feeling in its truth, without trying to make it go away, without trying to ignore it or distract ourselves from it. It's like when we can really honor our own truth of how we feel about a thing without trying to, quote, fix it, at least not right away. It doesn't mean never we fix it, but some of us move way too fast past shit. Saying things like, whatever, or it's not that big a deal. You know, it's gonna be all right. And that's true, it is gonna be all right, but let's not ignore the not all rightness right now. Let's acknowledge the sadness. Let's acknowledge the fear, the worry, the anxiety. Let's acknowledge the betrayal, the negligence, the rejection. Like, let's acknowledge that, the abuse, the hurt and the pain. Like, let's acknowledge all of those things before we go in to fix it. Okay. Plenty of y'all, whether you catching this live or on the replay, you got a bunch of bullshit lingering behind you that you just said, oh, that was that. As opposed to really allowing yourself to sit in the heart of those hurts and really give language to it. Like when we talk about emotional healing and doing shadow work is not just fucking remembering something happened. Yeah, that was fucked up, that so-and-so did such and such and they left me as such and such and doing, you know, feeling whatever. Like, that is part of it. To be able to name it, to identify the people and the places and the players, that is part of it. That's what we call a memory. But if you actually want to transmute that energy into something that is healthy and, quote, nutritious, meaning it adds value to you now, doesn't mean that you intentionally chose it, wanted it, needed it. It's not none of that. It's like, okay, this negative situation happened to me. I remember all the key components of it and who did what and who said what and da-da-da-da-da. But unless you go back to how it made you feel and really sit in that and give language to those feelings, guaranteed you're not over it. I can guarantee you. And just to say something like, oh, it was fucked up, okay, that's not a feeling, okay? That's not enough language to really outline the feeling, okay? And really get to the heart of feelings. You know, there's a whole vocabulary of words that describe feelings. Anytime you get time, go to Google and type in the words feeling chart. And then click the images button so you can see the actual handout, because there's a million of them out there. Give you about 30, 40, 50 pictures of people in different facial expressions and the feeling that they're expressing. There are so many words that speak to our feelings besides happy, sad, mad. Those are our most fundamental awarenesses of feelings. We may be able to get into things like disappointment, okay, or rejection, but it's like there's all kinds of feelings, like to feel considered. That's a feeling that most of us don't really get to. To feel valued. Yeah. We use the language, but we don't connect to the feeling. What does it feel like to feel valued? When's the last time you felt valued? Whew. Particularly when we're talking about negative experiences. We typically like to sit in the feel-goods of the high vibrational experiences. You know, reminiscing on a vacation you loved or something that made you laugh. You know, we have a more easy time connecting to those feelings because they feel good. But what about the ones that don't feel good? Okay. And I'm not just talking about feelings you have toward other people, it's feelings you have toward yourself. We don't spend too much time thinking about feelings we have toward ourselves. We may have judgments and opinions, critiques and criticisms, but how do you feel about yourself? Beyond, do I like myself or love myself? Because that's the only place people go is, I love myself. Yeah, but do you like yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? Do you enjoy yourself? You'd be surprised at how many people don't enjoy their own company because they feel alone and lonely. That's because you're not present. I don't know what it feels like to feel alone. Like to be without anything. And I'm not talking about because I'm alone right now. I'm in a space by myself right now. You know, I've spent many years single. So I know what it means to be without partnership. And many years before I had children, you know, so I have been alone. But when I'm in the sanctity of my own company, I'm never alone. I might feel lonely because I want to have a two-way exchange with another human being. But to feel alone, it's always me and it's always God. I'm never alone. Never. Never am I alone. I may be without company, but I'm never alone. Man. And then we could go into human design and start to explore how people are made. There's some of us that are built with what we call an identity center, which means that we have a very strong sense of self-awareness and self-love and self-consciousness. Not consciousness as in I'm insecure, but consciousness as in I'm a person that deserves to be here, wherever here is. And then there's some of us that don't have an identity center. It's an open identity center, which means that your sense of self is largely influenced by the people, places, and things outside of you. So to truly feel connected to yourself, you need to be in the company of other people. Not just want to be, but you need to be, because that's how you are made, naturally. So you may have a natural propensity to feel alone when you're just with yourself. Okay. So there's a lot of layers to this. Thankful for all that it taught. Ashe. Honey, I had a whole lounge chair in it. Sitting in your feelings. Yeah, looking from all sides and angles. Pissed because I betrayed myself, but I still love me. That part. Brother Art, what's going on, King? Hey, Carrie Grace. Yeah, it's like very often people don't like to be alone, because when they are alone, and then when I talk about alone, like it's without company, you know, without anybody else's influence or association to you. So many people don't like to be alone, because when they're alone, then it's too quiet. And when it gets quiet, that's when the lingering feelings that's been sitting there right under the surface start flooding back up. A lot of people don't like to meditate because it's like going into the dark with the boogeyman. Only the boogeyman's inside of your experience. A lot of people don't like being alone because they start having flashbacks and memories of times that were unpleasant and that didn't feel good. And the feelings that don't feel good, they start running from them as opposed to trying to give more language to them. The best gift that we can give ourselves is to really acknowledge our own feelings. Even if you don't want to share them with somebody else, even if you don't think other people care, you gotta care. How the fuck does this shit make you feel? Okay? And to really master the art of giving language to feelings. You can graduate to sharing those feelings with other people later. Step one is to acknowledge them for yourself. So we don't even have to go back to childbirth and early adolescence, and there's plenty of stuff to grab on there, feelings that we didn't get to feel, especially as children. And think about it. And this is for everybody in here. I don't care what kind of childhood you have, whether it was the best of the best or the worst of the worst or anything in between. Think about it. As a child, unless you grow up in an environment with people that are actually encouraging you to share your feelings, chances are we all got trapped emotions. Especially in my generation. Well, nobody caring about your goddamn feelings. My kids have the exact opposite experience. They have been talking about their feelings for such a long time that they can connect more readily with them. And it's not perfect. They still got some of their mama in them. There's still some parts that I see that they're not really paying attention to how they feel about this, that, and the other. But by and large, I've spent their whole childhood talking to them and listening to them and talking to them, asking questions. Well, what do you think? What do you feel? What do you want to do? It's redirecting the attention to their own sense of agency. But that wasn't my experience. Wasn't nobody asking me shit. Wasn't nobody asking me nothing. I had babysitters babysitting. Don't nobody ask me, do you want to go over so-and-so house? It's like, you going over there. Did nobody ask me if, I wanted to go on this trip or do this thing? Like, they weren't asking me shit. Nobody's asking me, well, how do you feel? And the moment somebody did ask me, it literally led to my parents' divorce. She asked me something about how I felt about their relationship, and I'm like, I feel like you should leave this fool. And I was like 12 years old. And as a mom now, I couldn't imagine my 12-year-old daughter coming and telling me that I should break up with her dad because she feels unsafe. And I know that she's unsafe, but she's telling me how she feels, and that is what literally made my parents divorce. And I'm happy about that, because it brought more peace of mind to my mental health. But nobody asks kids how they feel. I'm sure not too many people asked you how you felt. And many of you got into the same habit I got into. Well, nobody asked, so I'm not going to tell. I was being abused and didn't tell nobody. And it wasn't like I was consciously thinking, I'm not going to tell because nobody's going to care. But nobody has shown that they would care. So it would just feel like another thing that I was experiencing that nobody was going to ask me about. The child mind. So it's a lot of energy in this message this morning about really going back to unpack and sit in feelings that you otherwise just tried to skate past and just go into fix-it mode, or skate past because it just was too heavy, too overwhelming to try to process. It's like we got to go back and sit in some shit in order to be able to fix it. The fixing comes in feeling. You can't skip that step. You can't skip over, okay, I acknowledge it, now I'm going to fix it. You got to feel it if you want to heal it. You got to feel it if you want to heal it. Woo! So here we are, Carrie. Thank you, Brother Art. Here we are. Yep. Seems to be the story of your life right now, but embracing the sometimes loud quiet. That part. Ooh, come on with the loud quiet. Yeah. I have a piece of art. Let me think of how it goes. I have an art piece that was hanging in my house. And it says something like, get quiet because, something like, get quiet because the world is so loud. There's a line in the middle, I can't remember. It's like something like, get quiet. And it might even say sit in stillness because the world is so loud, or something like that. But yeah, that silence be maddening for people. I actually sit in silence a lot. I mean, I don't need the TV, the radio. I be forgetting that it's quiet. I mean, I'm so attuned to just being in the natural environmental energies of things as opposed to needing, like people who need the TV to go on to go to sleep, or just because they're in a room with a TV, the TV's got to be on. You know, as I grew spiritually, I started to abhor the television, because the television is a very useful tool in negative conditioning. You know, the television brings us images and ideas and impressions and perspectives and all kinds of things that may or may not be actually adding value, and usually it's not adding value. And some might say, well, it's fun, it's entertaining, okay. It's also conditioning you to think and act and believe in a certain way. And as I just started growing spiritually, I just started disconnecting from watching TV. It's just a distraction. It's literally programming, Like they tell you what it is. It's programming. And it's just programming that I don't want. So I choose my programming very selectively. There are plenty of times where I just want to watch something mindless. You know, Vic to this day, she and my kids, they be getting mad at me because watching movies and watching TV, it's not that I can't find joy in it. It's just, it don't keep my attention. Unless it's something about real life, a real story, or it's something that's teaching me something I can use in my real life. It just usually is not going to appeal to me enough to be like hanging on every word they're saying. I don't care. And it'd be really rubbing them. It really be rubbing them. It's not my form of entertainment. That is not entertaining for me. You get some of your best ideas and answers. Hey, that's for you. It's not for me. I'm very clear. I'm consistently consistent with it. I'm gonna fall asleep almost every movie I ever start watching. There's very few that I don't. And if I choose to watch TV, the things that I would like to watch is I'll watch reality TV, knowing that it's not reality. Like, I'll watch it knowing it's not reality. I'm good with that. But I don't know, I'm just a realist, and I can't not. I like truth and authenticity in like everything across the board. It's just how I'm made. So I'm not easily entertained by shit like that. Not anymore. So let's get into some cards and see where it goes. Because you think about the concepts. Yeah, maybe that agita at work. My open head is just like, this is just some, or this is more noise. My human design is such that I have an open head and an open agita, meaning that I am always soaking up what is in my environment all the time. I don't need things to think about. The world is here, okay? The world is here. See, I'm glad I'm not alone, Carrie Grace, because they be trying to play me like I'm just some freak of nature. Like, hey, what's wrong with you? You don't even like watch TV. Why do you always want to say? Cause I'm not fucking entertained. Shit. And it's dark. And that we still haven't got back to the movie Sinners. There was so much hype around this movie. I'm like, and Woman King, and shout out to all the creators, producers, actors. I ain't got no beef with nobody. It just wasn't for me. It didn't hit for me. It just did not hit for me. I think I walked out of Woman King. I know we got up and walked out of Woman King. Even The Color Purple, shout out to all the folks involved in that. I could have walked out of that. I didn't, but I could have. I know I fell asleep on it. It's gotta be real earth-shattering content in order for me to get it. And I know some people are like, well, does everything have to be that serious? Well, to me, it's not serious. That's where my baseline is. It's not serious. That's where my level of interest is. It goes back to not wanting to engage in small talk and small conversations about small things. Oh yeah, the new Color Purple. No, the original Color Purple, I've seen that movie 200 times and will still sit down and watch it again. The original, that was my shit. That was literally one of my favorite movies for the longest time. And it still is. It's a classic. And I think that's why I couldn't get into the new one, the shucking and jiving and songing and dancing and all the things. And I'm just like, ugh, this is, okay, anyway. Hi, Oprah. I knew somebody who was gonna come with Sinners was good. I know a lot of people agree with you, honey. A lot of people agree with you. So I'm not saying this, my opinion is best. It's just mine, you know. It's just mine. Yeah. So, but I got a lot of love for all the people and players in that movie. Ryan Coogler is from Sacramento, went to Sacramento State. Shout out to him. Actually, I think he's from Oakland, maybe. But he went to Sac State. All right. Let's get more into this feeling conversation. Sit with it, feel it. Then you can go into fixing mode. But don't just go right into fixing mode, man. So I'm trying to feel for what these cards, oh, this is the crystal deck. Okay, here we go to learn more about these crystals. I didn't even realize I picked up this deck, but here we go. All right, so let's see what's coming through. Oh, that's funny, we had that one yesterday. And one more. Okay. So we're talking about feelings as a theme today. Let's see, let's do this like this, and this like this. So we're working with this deck to start off with. And the first card that came out is Amber. We had this card yesterday. This gemstone we're working with today is Amber. Amber speaks to harmony, home protection, calm, attracts love. And so I feel like, you know, as we're talking about feelings, as we're talking about this theme of feelings, it's not easy, especially when we're talking about difficult, challenging, negative emotions, okay? Negative feelings that don't feel good. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody wants to just sit and sulk, okay? Nobody wants to feel fucked up. We want to all have a good day, right? We're supposed to be living our, quote, best life. And where does that come in with all this heavy energy? But I feel like this card is speaking to the need to see feelings as more, especially negative feelings, as a form of health, okay? And what do I mean by that? It's like, as we were talking about needing the contrast of life in order to be able to appreciate the good days. We gotta have the bad days to appreciate the good days. It's not just about, oh, I need to feel fucked up so I can know how to feel happy. It's like the energy of feeling in a low vibrational mood, it cultivates all kinds of things in us. It teaches us how to express, I'm hearing self-love. You know, low vibrational feelings, when we feel a way, we have to start self-caring, okay? We have to start to pour into ourselves in order to get back to a higher vibe, either through our own self-talk or bringing in community. But it's like we have to learn how to self-regulate, self-manage, self-master. Okay, and all of these gifts that we give ourselves when we're feeling in a low vibrational mood, it really, they're forms of protection. Okay. Yeah. It's like the energy of, just because you're low doesn't mean you have to stay there. So when we feel like we're in a low vibrational mood or a low vibrational experience, it's like we have to go into self-care mode, which is, the care is so that we don't find ourselves slipping into a lower mood of hopelessness or helplessness or suicidality, for that matter. You know, it's like we have to learn how to care for ourselves when we have these moments. So it may not be ideal. Nobody wants to take time out of their day to deal with some hard feelings. But when we are confronted with those, what I'm hearing is opportunity, not a challenge, but when we are confronted with those opportunities, there is really growth oriented. It's self-care oriented, it's self-love focused, it's self-preservation centered. It's like we go into activation mode for ourselves, and that is a good thing. Okay, now we know that there are some people that struggle with that. Some people decide to permanently check out of life because they don't have this ability to be resilient in these times. But those of you who are hearing this message right now, clearly you're here. Clearly you do the things that you need to do to keep yourself afloat and keep yourself moving forward and keep yourself as positive as you can. But this amber energy feels like it's a call for us to really not just know that those are things that we have to do, but it's like to use that awareness to self-soothe. So it's like the moment you realize you're having a bad day or a bad moment, that activates in you a protocol to self-love, self-care, to ease yourself, to soothe yourself. It's like it's a bad alert that goes off. When you recognize you feel like you're in a low vibrational and a fucked up mood, it's like for you to Wonder Twins activate in your own life. And this is a good thing. It's like, this is how self-love is birthed, is that you recognize you need something and then you honor it, okay? So that's what I'm getting first and foremost, but I want to go to the book to see what Amber is speaking to. So in the book it says, it expands on this definition of amber away from these cards, the words you see on the card. It says, your hard work may finally be recognized and success is on the way. Take time to decide how you want to use it to your very advantage. Okay, that don't sound like nothing I just said, but that's what I got. So let me go to the other parts of the book. I'll bring you back over here. This amber energy, hold on, 76. It says harmony and happiness in the home, attracting love, keeping calm. Keeping calm. Harmony and happiness in the home, attracting love and keeping calm. So they're really centering this energy around the home. I'm centering this energy around the self, harmony and happiness. But it does say in the home, amber will help children relax and speak confidently, stay calm. It has been used for centuries to keep children from harm and ease teething pain. Okay, what else? It also guards against conflict, again, by taking the negative energy in the room and transforming it into positive. Okay, and that must be what I'm latching onto. Because that's what I feel. I feel like it's speaking to like this alchemizing of energy. This energy that I'm getting from this stone, this amber, and you all do your own research, but I'm channeling a message, but it's like, it feels like an alchemist energy. Taking a negative and converting it into something positive. That's what it feels like to me. And yeah, amber encourages the body to heal itself. It helps with electromagnetic pollution. Helps get rid of headache caused by stress. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. Y'all do your own research, but I'm really drawing from this alchemizing energy of taking negative energy and making it positive, and not just in your home, but in your body, in your experience. Whew. And it's also speaking, wants me to go back to this line about kids. Will help children relax and speak confidently and stay calm. I feel like that's another key point of this, okay? A large piece of amber in the center of a room can dispel depression and anxiety and boost self-worth so your inner radiance shines. Okay, yeah. So I'm like, what is this? Because I'm getting all kind of hits that I don't feel it was literal enough in the book, but I do see it. I do see it. It brings peace and stability into the home, absorbs negative energy and transforms it into positive. There it is. Okay, boom. I didn't see that at first. Yep. Y'all think I'm making it up? I'm gonna show you. I channel messages. I don't know these charms. I mean, don't know these geodes by heart, which is why we're doing this. It absorbs negative energy and transforms it into positive. Okay. So it's all about transmuting energy. Amber, negative energy in the room, transforming it into positive. Okay. So it's giving that. It's definitely giving that. So working with this crystal, not just in your home for your home's sake, but for you. It's the energy is for you to be able to transmute, to alchemize, okay? And there's a real, like, they're giving me a strength. Like, there's a strength in it. We're talking about home protection, but it's like there's a strength in this that I'm trying to get to. Well, I guess that by nature is the strength. It's like if you're feeling low vibrational and you're working with this geode or working with this, when I say geode, I mean the stone. And when you're working with this gemstone and you're working with this intention of processing negative emotions and sitting with feelings, not to get stuck in them, but to transform them into something positive that you can work with, this is a stone that you might want to work with, okay? You might want to invest in the amber. But it's given that. And there is a strength in that. Obviously, when you alchemize anything, you take anything from a negative to the positive, that means that you are now finding a higher vibrational use for it. Whew, yes, okay, finding a higher vibrational use for those negative feelings. You know, sometimes we just think we're just supposed to be bitter and resentful because we have a justified reason to be that way. But actually, bitter and resentment really help to cultivate more love, okay? It's like we may be mad at who did what and who said what and who didn't do it right, bitter and resentful. But to alchemize that is to find a higher vibrational way to love. And not necessarily love what happened to you, but to appreciate the value that the experience brought. What it taught you, how it grew you, you know, what you now know because of it. Like that's what we mean when we talk about transmuting. It's not saying it never happened. It's not saying good thing it happened. You might grow to that place eventually, but it's not expected. When you feel a feeling, you honor it for what it's worth. You're not trying to make it different. You know, if you were raised by a single mama who was a workaholic, who spent a lot of time away from the home, it's okay for you to acknowledge, yeah, she was a good provider and that she was negligent to my feelings, that she didn't spend enough time with me. And I'm mad about that. It's not saying, oh, but I ate every day. It's like you can still be mad that you didn't get your feelings met, that nobody was asking how you felt or hell, how your day was, and actually listening for it. without multitasking to do something else, but actually giving you place and space to feel heard. You know? It's like that kind of shit. Okay. So yeah, we can find positive reasons that negative things occurred to us, but don't bypass how the things really made you feel. Okay. A lot of energy around that. Sits at my door of my home with selenite and tourmaline. Yep. Okay, you got all the big guns. Some selenite and some tourmaline. Okay, clarity, grounding, okay, protection. I feel that. The self is home. Come on, Carrie. Come on, Carrie Grace. No lies detected, girl. Okay, so look, we got clear quartz. Clear quartz. It kind of, the card makes it look dark, but clear is clear. Okay, you see it there? Boom, boom. Clear quartz. And quartz comes in all different kinds of colors. Okay, we're talking about the clear one. Clear quartz is just kind of what it sounds like. It's something that is a stone that's used to help bring clarity. Okay, it's a stone that's used to, and not just, oh, there it is. It says mental clarity on there. Yeah. It clearly speaks to psychic abilities and enhanced intuition, magnifying energy. So remember, we're talking about feelings and sitting with feelings, not for the purpose of just rushing through to fix the problem, but actually allowing your human self to process the feelings, to process the challenges that you may have experienced, past and present. Shit. This is not just about childhood drama. This is about life. Okay? Somebody's at your job right now acting crazy, treating you crazy. It's not for you to just like try to ignore it just to get through the day. It's like to really break down, how does it make you feel? I probably need to do some more work around that. You know, I left a couple previous jobs with a sour taste in my mouth, and it would behoove me to go back and really process what were the feelings. You know, and as I sit with it now, I know some of the feelings were feeling underappreciated and feeling ignored, unlistened to, feeling undervalued with the magnitude of gifts and wisdom that I had to share, feeling judged, that I wasn't honoring someone else's expectation for how I should do my job, as opposed to whether or not I was actually doing my job. Like, you know, I felt othered, you know, feeling like I in some way was not a team player. And the list can go on and on, but it behooves us to really take time to process the things that we're feeling. But we're on to clear quartz, and you know, it's all about getting clarity. And it's not just clarity in your natural mind, but it's like clarity coming through the divine. Like, what's the bigger message here? What is my gut telling me that I need to do or need to say or need to follow up on as it relates to any of my feelings? I want to read from the book. This is a new crystal. So actually, let me go here first. 36. It's like having Bible study, crystal study. All right, clear quartz. Best for amplifying energy, raising your vibration, enhancing intuition and psychic ability. Okay, so let me just hit some of the keynotes here. It's the most common yet most powerful mineral on Earth. Okay, most common, most powerful mineral on Earth. It's known as the master healer. It was key to the development of many ancient civilizations. Okay, including the Mayans, Aztecs, Egyptians, Native Americans. They use these for spiritual and magical tools. Many of them believe these stones to be alive incarnations of the divine. They were believed to have a great power for healing and for raising consciousness. Clear quartz magnifies the power of any other crystal as well as the body's natural energy, making it an essential stone for meditation and healing. While it stimulates the whole chakra system, it is especially good for opening the crown chakra. Regularly meditating with clear quartz will help expand your consciousness, connect with the angelic realm, or remember past lives. Sleep next to some clear quartz and let its mesmerizing quality help you drift into a deep sleep full of memorable and meaningful dreams. Sitting quietly, place a quartz crystal on the heart chakra will transform any emotional blocks into self-acceptance and love. Placed on the third eye during meditation, clear quartz will increase mental clarity, filter out distractions, and enable you to focus on the pure bliss of stillness beyond. Here, your intuition and psychic abilities can manifest. Program clear quartz with your intention for meditation, such as to connect with your spirit guides, and it will assist with this every time you use it. Achieve any goal by sending the feeling of the desired result into the quartz during meditation. It will it will remember and magnify that energy, bringing forth opportunities for that outcome to manifest the more you meditate with it. Okay, Clear quartz is used a lot in technology, including watches, radio transmitters and receivers, and memory chips in computers because it can store, amplify, and transform energy. Okay, so we're getting a lot of transmutation messages. Okay, transforming energy. Placing this healing gem on your desk if you work with computers or other electronic devices, as it repels the harmful effects of radiation from such equipment. That's another thing, okay, is we don't really pay attention to the electromagnetic influences of all of these devices on our bodies. We have Amber talking about it, and we have Clear Quartz talking about it, okay? And we know this to be a thing because we all have a cell phone. Most of us always have it attached to us or in our hand or nearby. We're always on it. Even if you're not one that's always on social media, just having the presence of the phone near you is enough to pollute you. So these are things that we really do need to be mindfully aware of. And these things also start to disrupt our biochemistry in ways that we scientifically don't know a lot about because it's not public information. But if you go down the rabbit hole of electromagnetic pollution on the body and its impact on the body, it really is altering us and you know, human beings evolve at every stage of history, but this is going to be a very potent part of our human story as we continue to grow through the next timelines of how electronic devices have shifted our biology. Clear quartz also cleanses and protects the aura by removing positive ions and producing negative ions instead. Soak it in salt water solution overnight, leave it in the sunshine, sage it with smoke as an energy enhancer and cleanser. Okay, so clear quartz. As we're talking about feelings, and it goes deeper than just having a vocabulary for feelings, okay? It goes deeper than just having a vocabulary for feelings. It's like using this stone is going to give you a higher mind consciousness about your feelings. Working with this geode and the energies therein will give you even more clarity than what your thinking mind can gather through your own experience. If you're trying to connect with your feelings and why you felt that way and why it happened and all the things, it's like going to your third eye for more information as opposed to your thinking mind. Is essentially activating a divine download for more clarity, what they call psychic abilities. It's like, it's going, when they say it's above me, it's like, yeah, it's like you may not in your mental mind ever be able to come to any language that's ever gonna make your harms and hurts make sense. It's never gonna make sense why so-and-so betrayed you like that or neglected you that way. It didn't honor your feelings. It's never going to make fucking sense in your natural mind. So it's like working with this geode allows you to transcend our reality to get more spiritual understanding of what and why and how. Okay. Okay. All right. It may not say it, but it can be programmed to mimic other crystals. It said it was talking about charging other crystals. Maya, what are you doing behind all this? Now, I know, Maya, there is. I agree with Vic on that. Maya, you got something to share with the peoples. If you're a generator type or projector type, I just gave you something to respond to. Come on, Vic, hit her with the human design. And she's a manifesting generator, of course. Standing at my clock-in job, creating a copper-wrapped clear quartz piece. Come on. Maya, if you didn't get something to respond to, girl, we are calling for you to share your wisdom. So I don't know how you're going to do it. You know, you're free to come on my platform and do it, because I want someone to share this wisdom, not just with me, but with the audience, because the people need to know. Okay? Because even me, it's like I've been working with crystals. I'll work with the crystals I'm most familiar with, but I don't know so much, as you can see. And I think we can all get as much information, as many tools as possible to help us navigate our mental and emotional bodies. All right, next card. We got black obsidian. Okay, I got a couple bracelets. Actually, I have a whole, where is that necklace? Matter of fact, there's a black obsidian piece I used to wear regularly, and now I'm just now remembering I haven't worn it in a while. It might still be in Costa Rica. But black obsidian, obviously it's a dark stone. All the dark ones help with grounding and protection, and this one speaks to strength. Let me get to the book, because I want to read it in the book. And hold on. Black obsidian, page 78. Page 78. Okay. Like this video if you guys are enjoying our little crystal lesson. Okay. Black obsidian, best for protection, soaking up stress and negative vibes. Okay. Yep, soaking up stress and negative vibes. And that's what it's given. Okay. These crystals that we pulled today, I mean the cards that we pulled today, are really grounding tools. All of them are really grounding tools to help you process negative emotion, help you transmute energy. Okay. Now, some of you I know don't go back to certain levels of feelings in your experience because you're afraid of them. It's like some of y'all, if y'all really go back to some of these hard feelings, you're going to be enraged and you're afraid of what you might do. And it's not necessarily because you're going to go out and hurt somebody. It's like you just feel like you're going to become unhinged, you know, and like not be able to keep your composure. And in many cases, that's necessary. Okay, that's what feeling looks like. Now, is it safe for you to become unhinged alone? Probably not. Probably not. And not because you're a threat to somebody else, although that could be a potential thing too. So it's like when you know you have a lot of rage and a lot of anger, a lot of deep buried resentment, it is best to do this kind of work in company with somebody in the community. A therapist, a coach, family, friends, somebody who can help keep you safe. Okay? It's like friends don't let friends drive drunk. Friends don't let friends do shadow work alone. Okay? And that's because we all need to feel the safety and protection so that if I become unhinged, at least somebody is there to help me get back to myself, to help support me, to rock me, to make sure I get water, to make sure I don't hurt myself physically. or to make sure I don't snap and go hurt somebody else. Like, all of these are real life components of dealing with negative feelings. Some of us don't know even how to get to that kind of rage because we've pushed it so far down. I know for me, I know I have some in me. I know I got some upset, some deep upset. I don't know if it's, that dangerous, but I've seen myself get upset about things. I know I could get it popping if I need to. And I know that there's still some feelings about a lot of things that I have yet to really allow myself to bring to surface. And here's the thing, it's not open up the floodgates to overwhelm yourself, it's to start the process of leaning in. As we use that pressure cooker analogy all the time, it's letting a little bit out at a time. Because what happens is when we're not letting any of it out, it usually does come out explosive. But I can assure you, when you become intentional about letting a little bit out at a time, it's not as scary as you think it is. It actually is more controllable than you know it is. But because it's just so scary and feels so daunting, we don't want any part of any of it, so we shut it away. But doing things like journaling, to start to tell the stories and write down the feelings. Maybe it's not a conversation just yet with anyone or a therapist. Maybe it's just you with you, just letting it be known that I see you, I see myself, I see that part of you, I see that part of myself that I still need to explore and express. Okay, even just saying things like that, start to let a little bit of that steam off, a little bit at a time. It's like, I know it's there. And I know I'll get back to myself. I'll get back to a moment where I feel comfortable to start leaning more into the stories and leaning more into the actual feelings. But right now, I'm just going to acknowledge that it's there. That's a little bit of steam off. Okay. So this black obsidian, though, is really is speaking to resilience, is what I'm getting from it. I'll read the book on it. But it's giving me, it's not just about protection and grounding and all those kinds of things. It really is feeling like resilience. It says support during changes. Come on, exactly. Everyday stress relief clears negative energy. Yep. It's giving that. So let me see what else is given. Yep, it's giving that. It says it says meditate on this confusing matter more and you will get more insight, clarity about the best solution to take. So it's like, I don't know what this is. Creating your own set of crystal oracle stones. Okay, let me come back to that. Let me get to the pages. Black tourmaline, 28. Okay, so it says best for protecting against negative thoughts, energies, and radiation from electronics. Y'all, if we don't do some fucking grounding away from these electronics, every single stone so far today has made mention of that. Protecting against negative thoughts, energies, and radiation from electronics, also for grounding, easing panic attacks and motion sickness. Easing panic attacks, okay? That's what it's giving. It's giving grounding. It's giving, like, I want to say like grounding so you can stay in it, okay? It's like grounding so you can stay in the feeling. But let me break it down. So, common crystal used in meditation for ability to keep you grounded. It connects the root chakra to the Earth's electromagnetic field, essential in these times of shifting energies on the planet. This shamanic stone, used by ancient magicians when doing spell work, provides a protective shield against any negative entities or bad vibes from people or places. I've got to find my necklace. I gotta find it. I don't think it's here. Known as the etheric bodyguard, it protects and purifies the etheric body, keeping you safe while you explore the spirit realm. Place a smooth stone of black tourmaline in each hand, or one in your left hand and a piece of selenite crystal in your right hand, to help to cleanse your aura while you sit in meditation. So it's black tourmaline in the left, selenite in the right, to help you cleanse your aura while you sit in meditation. Wear a black tourmaline brooch on your left side where the crystal enters the aura. If you find yourself in unpleasant surroundings or mixing with angry, moaning, or draining people, sit in meditation surrounded by a grid of black tourmaline stones to clear the mind of unwanted self-talk, cleanse the emotions and bodies of any impurities, and rid the spirit of anything weighing you down. An essential crystal for anyone suffering from anxiety, depression, or anger issues. Try sleeping with some in your pillowcase to help you clear your mind overnight. If there is an area of your home where you feel more negativity, place a large black tourmaline on its own there and let it transmute the energy around it. Working with black tourmaline promotes a sense of self-confidence and personal power. Black tourmaline is believed to protect the body from harmful radiation and electromagnetic waves from electronic gadgets such as computers and mobile phones. Place a large piece of it next to any electrical device, or wear black tourmaline on your body when working on electrical devices for long periods of time. Rub a piece of black tourmaline and it will become electrically charged with one end positive and the other negative. It will then attract or dispel dust particles, for example. It aligns the energy centers in your body to enable healing light to channel through you, increase physical vitality, and inspire a clear-headed and positive attitude. Okay, so what did we learn? Everybody needs to get some tourmaline. That's what we learned, okay? And if you can get something, get a piece that is wearable art, like a necklace or a bracelet, a ring, any of the things, that would be a great stone. And I used to wear mine like daily, literally. Where did I get that thing? I think I got it as a gift. But yeah, big energy around the tourmaline, okay? So we had amber, tourmaline, and obsidian today? Yes. Yes. Oh, I was reading tourmaline, and this says obsidian. My bad. Shit. Clearly, we need to know both. Now I gotta go back and read obsidian. I read the wrong one. Obsidian. My bad. I'm glad I caught that. Obsidian, 78. 78. Oh no, I actually did read the right one. No, I didn't. But they have let me see, they have damn near exact. Now I gotta look, y'all. Hold on. Hold on to your love. I swear they have damn near the same header. 28. I'm gonna show y'all so y'all don't think I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah. So black tourmaline is what I just read. Protection against negative thoughts, energies, radiation from electronics. Black obsidian, protection, soaking up stress and negative vibes. Okay. It's known as a psychic vacuum cleaner. It clears negative energy from environments. They're all about the same. They just give you a different interpretation and they come from different places. So having obsidian in your home will make you truly safe, make it a truly safe haven. It will put up a barrier to burglaries or other unwanted guests, bullying from others, or psychic attack, enabling you to safely retreat from the world. Yeah, it's given all the same vibes. Blocks out everyday stresses and anxieties to help you relax. If you find you overspend or overindulge in anything, an obsidian charm can boost self-control. It's a powerful truth stone, and meditating with it will reveal your deepest insecurities and destructive patterns, which may not be easy to face, but when you're ready, you can use black obsidian to help you heal your shadow side and become more balanced. Okay. If you're finding obstacles to your career, place obsidian in your area of in the area of your home connected to career, which people say is the left-hand corner, as you face inwards from the door. Okay, that's very specific. And you can use this to rebalance your work energy, soak up stress, and inspire creativity so that your life can flow more smoothly again. So the black ones, those are not very far off. They're basically essentially the same. Tourmaline is better for electromagnetic protection. They both soak up negative vibes and are used for protection. And I had an obsidian necklace, not a tourmaline. I do have a piece of black tourmaline. No, I do have that. So, all right. That concludes our lesson for that today. There's a silver obsidian that's stunning in sunlight. Ooh, that sounds interesting. No, I think we need to go to Crystal Store right now. On our way to the storage. So let's get ready to do that. We're going on a field trip. We're going on a field. Huh? Girl. Okay. All right, I'm gonna come make it happen. All right, let's see. Been trying to do 50 things at one time. I have tourmaline and obsidian necklaces. I have tiger's eye on today. Come on. Now, Maya, we gonna talk. Because I feel like you have a whole wealth of information that you are sitting on, which is nice for you to know, but the rest of us want to know too. How we gonna know, Maya, if you don't tell us? I feel like this might be a segment that you can introduce to us on the morning message. Is introducing one crystal a day or one gemstone a day. And I would love for you to come on camera to talk about it. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. All right, I think I'm done for today. I need to eat breakfast and we are going on a field trip. If you don't already follow me on IG, it's probably a good time to start because why not? And if you do, thank you. All right, I'm out. It's Tuesday. I got the whole day and I don't have a client till tonight. So yeah, let's go have some fun. All right, love y'all so much. As always, life doesn't have to be perfect. Clearly I just screwed up that reading because I was reading one, but then there was the other, but clearly we need to know them both. I don't know. You're welcome, Carrie Grace. It's always an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for joining, y'all. Where do I DM Vic at? Vic! Maya wants to know your Instagram.
Oh, Soul Evolution Midwife.
Soul Evolution Midwife on IG. Soul Evolution Midwife on IG. Okay? All right. Have a great day. No matter what. Peace.